Hello my dear students, in this video I will show you how to easily balance redox reaction by simply using 3 steps. Now here, in the first step number one, we will be balancing the atoms that is getting oxidized and reduced. Step number 2 will be balancing the change in oxidation state, and step number 3 we will be balancing the charge using oxygen and hydrogen based on the medium. Now our question here is permanganate ion MnO4 minus in basic solution. So our medium here is basic, oxidizes iodide ion I minus to produce molecular iodide I2 and manganese oxide MnO2. So here let's proceed with the first step number 1. Let me write down here, balance the atoms getting oxidized and reduced. Balance the atoms getting oxidized and reduced. So let's write the reaction here. Manganate, permanganate ion and iodide oxidizes iodide ion to give us molecular iodide and manganese dioxide MnO2. Now let us identify who is getting oxidized and who is getting reduced. Now here, iodide MnO4, it exists in its +7 oxidation state. Here is +4. Oxygen here will be -2, here will be 0, and here will be -1. So here we have to balance the atoms that is getting oxidized and reduced. Now when we check here, manganese is going from +7 to +4, and we have only one atom here, so the manganese atom is balanced. Now let's move to iodine. We have I minus here, we have 2 iodine atom here, we have only 1. So I write here 2. That means here our step number 1 is done. We have balanced the atoms that is getting oxidized and reduced. Now step number 2, balance the change in oxidation state. Balance the change in oxidation state. Now balancing the change in oxidation state, let me write here again our MnO4 minus plus 2I minus plus giving us I2 MnO2. Now here we have to balance the change in oxidation state, so +7 to +4. Now manganese is going from here to +4, iodide is going from -1 to 0. Therefore here in this reaction, since our manganese here is going from +1 to +4, that means it is undergoing reduction reaction and it is decreasing by 3 numbers, whereas our iodide ion is getting oxidized to give us the molecular iodine here, iodide I2. That is, there's only an increase in 1 unit. So here, since we have the total number of electrons lost and gained during an oxidation reaction should be equal. So I multiply here 3. So if I multiply here 3, that means here, since I'm multiplying here and then 3 into 1. Now, so here for our iodide atom, so for every iodide, from iodide ion to our molecular iodide, there's -1 to 0. So for 2 iodide ion, we have 2 charges, so I multiply here 2. So we have here 2 multiply, so I write here 2, here also 2. That means for every iodide I minus, there's -1 charge to iodine 0. So for 2 iodide ion, there will be increase here, so I multiplied here 3. So 3 to R, this becomes 6, and then we have here our 3I2, 3 to R 6, 6I. So the change in oxidation state is balanced here. Now moving on to the third step number 3. Step number 3 is we have to balance oxygen and hydrogen according to medium, oxygen and hydrogen according to medium. Now in our given question we have here the medium is basic medium. So here we will be balancing the charge by using OH minus. We have to balance oxygen and hydrogen according to medium. So since this is a basic medium, we will be balancing the charge using hydroxyl OH minus ion. Now so let me write the equation here again. MnO4 minus plus 6I minus giving us 3I2 plus 2MnO2. Now, since this is a basic medium, let's count the number of oxygen atoms. We have here 2, 4. We have to balance the charges. So first, let's count the charge. So here we have 6 plus 2. So we have here 8 negative charges, 6 charges plus 2 charges. So here we have 8 negative charges. And then here we don't have any charges. So this side we will be balancing using 8 OH minus. That means we have 8 negative charges. It's already balanced now. Add OH minus here. Add OH minus. Now charge is balanced now. We are adding here of 8 OH minus ion. So therefore we need 8 hydrogen atom. So balancing the total number of hydrogen atoms, we will be adding here plus 4. Let me write below plus 4H2O. 4, 2 are 8 and 8, 1 are 8. So here hydrogen is also balanced. Now the moment you balance the charges by using hydroxyl ions, hydrogen atom will be balanced by itself. So let's count the total number of oxygen and hydrogen. Oxygen is 2, 4 are 8 plus 4. 8 plus 4, 8 plus 4, 1 are 4 equals to, we have 12 oxygen atoms and then 8 hydrogen atoms. And this side let's count 2, 2 are 4 plus 8 equals to 12 oxygen atom, and then we have 8, 1 are 8 hydrogen atoms. So here this is the simplest method on how to balance redox reaction by using just these 3 methods. The first method, let me repeat again, balance the atoms, only atoms except apart from oxygen and hydrogen that is getting oxidized and reduced. So here in the first reaction, since our permanganate ion is oxidizing iodide ion to molecular iodide, here manganese we have only one atom, so leave it as it is. Moving on to iodide, molecular iodide we have I2, so I multiply here 2, so the total number of all the atoms is balanced. Now step number 2, balance the change in the oxidation state. Now manganese is going from the change in plus 7 to plus 4 oxidation state. That means it is getting reduced by 3 units. It is getting reduced by 3 units. And iodine, for each iodine atom, for one I minus ion, it is undergoing from minus 1 to 0. So here, since it is going from minus 1 to 0, for 2 it was here, we have 2 I minus. We had here I2 going to, for 2 I minus from minus 1 to 0. Therefore, if we multiply the total number of change in the oxidation state here into 2 for every iodide ion, this 2 will be written in our manganese multiplied by 2 in the change in oxidation number. Here 2 multiplied by 2, and also for our iodide ion we multiply here with 3. So 3, it was 3, 2 are 6, and then 3, 2 are 6. So the total balance in the change of oxidation is also balanced. Now according to the medium, we will be balancing the total number of oxygen and hydrogen atoms. Now since our question is a basic medium, we will be using the help of hydroxyl ions. Now calculate the charge first. Calculate the charge. So for every permanganate ion, we have 1 negative charge. So for 2 permanganate ion, we will have 2 negative charge. 2 negative charge plus 6 negative charge is 8 negative charges this side. So this side we don't have any charges. Molecular iodide also has no charge. MnO2 has also no charge. I'm not talking about oxidation number here, charge. So here I write here plus 8 hydroxyl ion, 8 OH minus. That means our 8 charges. the total number of charges on both sides is equal. Now when we are adding the total number of charges, we are adding hydrogen atoms. So balancing hydrogen atoms, we add 4 to our 8 hydrogen atoms multiplied by adding our water molecule on this side. So when you add water molecule, the number of oxygen atoms and the number of hydrogen atoms will be balanced by itself. So this is just a simple 3-step methods on how we can easily balance redox reactions.